Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final round of racing for week 5. After this week, we'll be into the second half of season 13. We're here for the Qatar Grand Prix at the Losail International Circuit. As you can see, you've got 19 drivers this evening. We have 16 corners around this Losail circuit. It's 5.419 kilometres in length. It's 3.367 miles in length. It's got one DRS zone. It was first established as a Formula 1 circuit in 2021, and it was first around for MotoGP in 2004 when this circuit was first constructed. And as we go into the 5th round, Paul Jones still leading the championship after last week's race in Miami. He's on 99 points, 83 points for Matthew. Chuckle is in third on 79, 61 points for Koix Gamer, and Bugatti Sloven is in 5th place right now on 53 points. There's 130 points for Aston Martin leading the Constructors' Championship. Alfa Romeo in second on 112 points, and Mercedes on 85 points in 3rd place. So tonight is a sprint qualifying format. Don't ignore what it says on the left hand side. Don't look at it. It says it's Q1, but it's not. It's just a short qualifying session, just the 18 minutes before we get into the 10 lap sprint race and the 29 lap Grand Prix 50% distance. Lee, you were saying earlier on that you were excited for this one. It does seem like we've only had it twice, that it can throw up some exciting league racing.
Yeah, certainly. It's quite a fast track out there with a lot of medium and high-speed corners predominantly. So, yeah, I would say it would strike up quite a good race here, especially having pretty much a full grid. And, well, yes, I think it's Pippo Kennedy who's going to be first up to settle up, and he's just in the middle of sector 2 right now.
Yeah, just making his way, just about to start in sector 3 as he makes his way up to turn 12. In qualifying, this potentially can be flat all 3 corners here. It's flat through the first, flat through the second of turn 13, and a slight downshift, maybe a little lift there, Lee, through turn 14 into the quick right-hander of 15. Watch out for track limits there, and also watch out for track limits at the final corner as well, as he misses the apex on the inside of turn 16. And we've got a rather long run to the line, much longer than it was this year's track changes for the 2022 Qatar Grand Prix. And yeah, 121.2 and then a 121.9 for Matty Jones. Alino, who's here for the second night in a row, reserving for Ferrari, 121.8 and 121.7 for Taylor Danny, all coming in thick and fastly.
Yep, they certainly are all trying to get a lap as quick as they can, as well as a sprint. And with it being a sprint, it's short qualifying, so all they'll have is this 18 minutes, which there is one thing I'm actually kind of surprised about, is Koix Gamer is just setting a lap now on the intermediates, a 126.458. So I'm not sure how it works with full qualifying, with short qualifying, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, anyone watching, and I know there may be a few watching this evening who haven't watched before, as I'm potentially doing a charity event next month. There'll be more on that on this channel, to make sure you support that one. Yeah, so there's a couple of those guys I think are going to watch along potentially for a little bit here. The intermediates are running Q1 in full qualifying that we usually do on a Wednesday and a Thursday, and we so call it the Intermediate Championship, where they do one lap in Q1 on the intermediates, and then we just announce who won that little battle at the first part. But as we've got one qualifying session this evening, most drivers won't be doing that. As you can see, only one has taken part in that, so I suppose he does take the win anyway, Lee, by default, because he's done one anyway. but it's not usually something we see. We have a short qualifying on a Monday as well, and we don't see it in that one either, just for the same reason as this with the short qualifying.
Yeah, it's yeah, invalid there. Thought it was Looneyman, but yeah, it is always a little bit just a wee bit of just something to spice it up a little and just have a little bit of fun. Chuck just there across the line with a 121.617 goes sixth. I think GTR's going to be up next as he's just exiting the final corner now. Like you said, big stretch to the line at 123.5. That one puts him 13th.
GT Lord getting our driver of the day last night after he was unable to unlap himself. Lee did the same thing on Monday, which unfortunately wasn't streamed, where he was jokingly said Lee should have got the driver of the day. So we don't make jokes on a Wednesday and a Thursday, Lee. We just do it.
Yeah. So it was quite fortunate for him to be able to unlap himself as well. I mean, we know personally that it is a bit of a pain to try and unlap yourself as well. It kind of relies on the cars in front of you going off track in order to allow you to pass. So it's a bit of a pain, I would say. As we've just seen Looneyman go third with a 121.160. So just about 4/10 off Glad's in front.
And we've already seen, Lee, we did a race here last season in the Thursday tier as well, and that was round 7. The pole time there was a 120.811. So, yes, we're doing a short qualifying session. We did a full one that time, but the time has already been beaten by a couple of drivers so far. Paul Jones being one of them, Matthew being the other, who subsequently are both fighting for a championship right now.
Yep, and well, the pair of them are really quick, as it states by the times that they've just put in. The only people in the 120s right now. And let's see, I think it's Bugatti Sloven. Oh no, he's jumping into the pits.
He's gone into the pits because he's invalidated his lap time.
But yeah, so the tyres, the drivers will be running as for the softs. It's the C3, C2 for the mediums, and the C1 for the hards. So the softs up to maximum will go roughly 14 laps, 19 for the mediums and 21 laps for the hards. So it is going to be a bit of a decision on what tyres to be able to keep for the races in the main race.
As we see the Alpine here of Banter Brandon, who I think is a fresh face this evening, a debutant of RTG, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I remember seeing his name. So we're going to be able to see what he's going to be able to do is... sorry, just brain fart, but he's just coming into Sector 2 now.
And he's just gone up to 7 there, turn 7, yeah. Which is arguably one of the trickiest parts of the circuit here. When you go through turn 8, which is really quite easy. Turn 9 as well in a Formula 1 car is very easy. And then turn 10, which he's just gone through, tricky corner. And then we get up to this triple right-hander here. It's absolutely mighty in qualifying. You've got to get every apex point, every turning point exactly right to get the lap time out of it there, as well as turn 15.
He absolutely nailed that there, managing to link that up quite nicely. As he jizz on me, managing to go flying up to the top of the board, 120.601. See if he's going to be able to do it, and he does. 120.330. Just under 3/10 quicker.
And Cloak's Gamer comes across the line there with a 121.124. And Aston Martin just made his way across the line there. Was it Aston Martin? I think it was Chuck. And he's just started another lap here with 7 minutes to go. So you can comfortably get 3 laps in qualifying. So I presume this is his second of 3.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've got Bugatti Sloven is on an out lap. He's still yet to even get a time on the board right now. He takes quite a wide apex going to start his lap there, trying to get as much as he can up to speed for starting his lap. As we see him coming down into turn 1, getting over to the left hand side as much as possible. Just missing that curb on the apex there. Into turn 2 there, kind of reminisces of Bahrain there. Into turn 3 now. And up to 4, you've got this double right-hander there. And I think it was that corner, on the exit of that corner there, that was problems in the race just the other week there. And see him into turn 7 there. He actually runs a bit wide there.
And he runs wide through turn 8 as well. Sorry.
He just managed to keep it in there. On in between the lines there. Just managing to keep it in.
He must have been on the line going through there.
Definitely there. And then around this triple right-hander. Reminds me a little of Qatar. With that triple right-hander near the end in sector 3, but here we go, coming to the end of his lap around turn 16. Uses up as much of the track on the exit as possible. DRS wide open on the final stretch to the line. He's kind of run out of battery though. And here we go, 121.38238, sorry. Jesus. Yeah, but that's one thing I have seen a bit lately is a lot of cars, as they're coming to the end of their lap, they've run out of the deployment that they've used. So could it be possibly better if they maintain that a little?
Yeah, it would require you to turn it off in the middle sector somewhat, but yeah, it's because it's such a long run to the line that you run out of the battery. Obviously, as they changed the timing beacon for the qualifying laps this year, where it's just after the DRS. It's about 100 to 200 meters after the DRS, so a good 3, 4, 5 seconds further down the road. It means that I don't think if that was like this in this game or in the next game, if the battery deployment is just similar, I think they would
Royal Rumble into the wall at turn 15 there.
Down in 16th place right now. And
he's going to have to get back into the pits, yeah.
And luckily, where he was on track, he was able to get back in as he clouts the wall again on the entry of the pit lane on the wall separating the start-finish straight and the pit lane.
Yeah, but he did get a bit fortunate there that he didn't receive any damage to the front left wheel there. As yeah, it would have been a bit of a bad one there. We'll see who's on a lap right now. Is Apple Kennedy?
Kieran's on a lap, that's for sure. As he's going through turn 5 and then on the brakes at turn 6, which we saw a few lunges from. He was quoting as well from a few weeks ago. George Russell being one of the main ones, actually. He was making a couple of dives there at turn 6, as we now already have got to turns 8 and the flat out right hander of turn 9 into the braking zone of turn 10. Watch out for the exit on track limits. Bugatti was able to do it just a few moments ago, and now this triple right hander, which is becoming one of my favourite sequences of corners in Formula 1 actually. It's tricky. It also feels easy when you get it right as well, but you really have to get everything right there, and when we're in the race as well, it'll be interesting to see who's more committed following through there, because yes, the dirty air isn't too bad in F123, but I do feel like you feel it through that triple right complex as we come to the line now. 122.9 to beat, and he does a 122.4, so a big deficit from provisional pole for the sprint at the moment, Lee, to 20th right now. Not something we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason for that is a lot of the time on this track you are really threading the needle. You need to absolutely nail each and every apex. You use as much of that track as possible just to try and scrape away every 10th in each of them corners.
Is this one of your favourites, Lee? Now, is this, obviously I know it's only been around for literally a few months for us, but
I mean, yeah, it is quite a nice track with its fast flowing corners, and always ends up providing with an excellent race with quite a lot of overtakes. So it is still to play for, even if you're starting quite far down, so anything could happen really, and especially with the sprint race also coming up in just a few moments' time, and everything could be shook up right away. So looking forward to all of that. As I'm on board with Matty Jones, he's just rounding turn 15. There's a little bit of traffic just up ahead. I think they're just the way to start their laps, but there's two of them.
Yeah, they miscommunicated with one another here, and I think that's actually going to be a fight towards turn 1. Not too sure who it is. It's a Mercedes. It's the two Mercedes actually. I wonder if one was given. Oh, that's gone absolutely horribly wrong for those two. Absolutely horribly wrong, as Matty Jones has gone to 9th place. It's all happening, Lee, on this final part of qualifying. It's quite a busy track right now. Drivers getting out of the way of others, of course. Drivers do suffer with lack of information, I suppose. You kind of got to treat everyone as they're on their lap. As Koik's Gamer goes third fastest there with a 120.6.
Matthew to the line now, goes second with 120.364. We'll see who's up next.
Chuck was just behind him with a 120.9.
Got Royal Rumble up next. What's he going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to improve? He only improves by a 10th, and that still keeps him in the same place. See, Matty Jones is coming in. He's obviously not improving on his lap. We've got banter though, and he loses the tail end of that as he's coming out of turn 16. Jizzle is coming into the pits.
Yeah, it cost him a huge amount of time there, and I think that's it in Banter Brandon's debut race. He takes pole, not for the first time we've seen in season 13. Jizzle did it as well in Canada a few weeks ago. Bit of a trend going on now in season 13.
Yeah, there is most likely. But looking at these times and then having the MotoGP time here with a 120.3 compared to that, it's a 152.7, and it just goes to show how quick these cars are. And well, that is the end of qualifying. So we've got Banter Brandon on first place. He manages to scrape that by 300ths of a second off of Matthew, who's in second place. Paul Jones in third. Then you've got Jizzle in fourth. Koik's Gamer fifth. Prodigy in sixth. Chuck in seventh. Alino in 8th, 9th, Pipple Kennedy, Looney Man in 10th, Matty Jones 11th, Bugatti Sloven 12th, Taylor Danny in 13th, 14th, Danny, Prof in 15th, Kieran 17th, Perm Bowden 18th, and rounding out the back of the grid we've got GT Ord. And looking at how the gaps are compared to from last to first. It just goes to show there's some people that have managed to get this track hooked up perfectly enough, and others not so much. But it could all change in the sprint just coming up, where we're going to have 10 laps of racing, which will most likely be on the mediums, I would say, although the softs could do it, as we know that they could go up to 14 laps.
Depending on if anyone saved a set of softs. Now, I'm going to keep on my toes tonight. We've had a few new drivers. Not read the memo in the admin's only ready up first. Everyone else has got to wait. Obviously, it gives them a lot of time then to sort out their strategies for the race. Not so much time needed for the sprint race, as we've only got 10 laps, and it will be a one tyre stint, so they've just got to pick which tyre they're going to be starting on. There's no mandatory pit stops. We might see pit stops, but not from every driver, that's for sure. And we'll just wait to see if anyone has readied up, but I'm sure they haven't, because they would have been told last night. So what are we talking about with drivers, Lee? With tyres on cars, top two on softs, interestingly enough.
And also Bugatti Sloven also in 12th place. These tyres are built to do it, but they're going to try and get away as quickly as possible at the start of the race and try and build that gap. Oh, you see Matthews came off them and Quiet Gamers went on them.
And we've now got 5 red lights for this sprint, and we're away for the sprint in Qatar. And Ethan looks like he's got a pretty decent start there. Matthew, however, not so much, as he's got Paul on the outside. He's got Jizzle on the inside. Paul tries to go around the outside at turn 1. It's side by side with the Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin, now having the inside for turn 2. And it's still not yet done as Matthew fights back and takes back that second place. It does mean that Banter has been able to gain some time there, as Jizzle maybe looking for a move into turn 6. Potentially some drivers will be looking for that move into turn 6, and one of those being a Red Bull of Matty Jones, then getting the tail out on the exit. Not something he would have wanted to do as Royal Rumble moves up on Kieran, but overall been quite pleasant and respectful between the drivers in the first 2/3 of the lap.
Yep, and just want to know that Bugatti Sloven has gained 3 places on the opening lap already.
So doing a fine job right now in this first lap. He is on the soft tyres, so does have the advantage of being able to get past, being on that quicker tyre, but it doesn't take it away from doing 3 laps in definitely 2/3 of the first lap.
Taylor Donnelly and Matty Jones, and it looked like Matty Jones didn't give him enough space on the outside, but he manages to get that position and move up into 11th place.
As Taylor Donnelly was potentially looking to get the place back, but had to fall back in line there, as the top 7 has been unable to separate from one another right now, nor have they been able to gain or lose any places, all staying in the same places they started in. And from a sprint perspective, not really a bad strategy so far. The pit stop strategy is coming up at the bottom of your screen. It says hard tyres to the end, medium tyres all the way to the end, but some of them have strayed away from those 2 strategy choices and gone to the soft tyre to hopefully do the whole 10 lap stint with good pace.
Yeah, the people on the softs will need to try and take it a little bit easy, or just punch it as much as they can, but that's the thing, it will wear out the tyres a lot and they will be vulnerable come the end of the race. But I'm seeing Bugatti Sloven is actually still right on the back of Pippo Kennedy, just in front of the Williams. And is it activated already?
It's about to be activated this lap, so we'll get it on the next lap, on the start finish, or on lap 3 it starts on the DRS next time around. And everyone looking so close together. Someone looking very close is Royal Rumble going around the outside of Prof there, making contact with him as well. Kieran then sneaks up the inside after Prof's mishap there as they now go into turn 4. Royal Rumble is now in 14th place.
Yeah, that was a bit of a cheeky one there, and Kieran's off the track.
Gone into the wall there at the exit of turn 6.
Yep. And has he got any damage? Yep, he's got a busted front wing there. Lost the right hand side. I think that's completely actually. So he'll have to make a pit stop. It is also one thing that I didn't mention is Alino actually got a drive-through penalty for jumping the lights.
Oh, okay.
And that's the reason he is so far back in Matthew. 2 seconds.
Matthews left the session, and he'll have to get in quickly. Hopefully Need potentially might be able to give Matthew an invite here as his AI car now already losing places, 2 of them so far. And it's given Banter that extra bit of breathing space here. Paul Jones still looking in a very nice position in 2nd place, being followed closely by that scarlet red Ferrari. Is Matthew moving down to 6th, will be surely moving down to 7th, and it was the worst time to be going and leaving the session here. The sprint is obviously what sets you for the sets the grid for the race, unlike what the sprint format's like in Formula 1 in 2023, but in F1 23 it is the old version of sprint racing. As Matthews got back into the session league, but his AI car's already down into 7th and it's going to be 8th.
Yep, that's a bit quite unfortunate there. But yeah, he was only away for what, 1 lap there, and now getting back into losing out. What was that, 6 places?
Yeah, it looks like
from 2nd. So it is always quite unfortunate when that happens, and yeah, just hopefully manages to get back in time to.
He's lost another 2 now, and he's gone down into 10th place out of the points in the sprint. The top 8 get points in the sprint race. Matthew leaves the session again, so it's only going to get worse for him now.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. He's most likely going to end up starting right at the back by the way things are going.
And we're seeing another overtake of Matthew's car as he now falls down to 12th place. Hopefully he will be able to get back in at some point. And the top 3 now, Lee, all within DRS of one another.
Yep, so we could expect to see an overtake, possibly from Paul Jones, if he could get just that little bit closer in this final sector. But the thing is, there's Matty Jones there getting a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and he's just a bit too far behind to be able to get close enough. You see Prof getting a 3-second time penalty also, and these penalties are really starting to ramp up here as Lee and Perrin Bowden have got in. Looneyman and Bugatti Sloven battling it out around turn 1.
Yeah, they certainly are indeed.
Around turn 2 as well, we've got Looneyman on the outside, and it's going to. He gets that on the outside of turn 2 there. Nicely done there from Looneyman.
As we go down towards turn 6 with the top 3. And as we go through turn 6 with the top 3, Alino gets himself a 3-second time penalty at another point on the circuit. I think that must have been in the final few corners of the previous lap, as he's just making his way on to lap 6 now.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate when you get penalties in the sprint as well, there isn't as many laps to separate the grid as much. But having a look.
As we go around the final corner with the top three. We'll see if any of them, either of the two cars behind, are able to make a move. Of course, Banter, the only one without the DRS. He is on the soft tyres, though, Lee, so this may be another reason why Paul Jones and Chisholm have played in here. And that's a safety car. Very, very late indeed.
Now, whereabouts was that? Was that coming out the final corner, I think? I'll be able to find out in just a moment. See, Lee's just went and got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ah, he's retired, that's why. That's a bit unfortunate. So he'll be starting in 19th come the race. So, having a look to see where it is. Yep, it was just coming out turn 16 there, where GT crashed.
And I think we will probably only get one lap here under the safety car.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll need to wait for Alino and Kieran to catch up also, who are quite far back, same with Per and Bowden.
I disagree. I don't think it may let them catch up, to be honest. Not 100% sure they'll let them catch up. Where's Kieran now? So they've just passed the safety car. The leaders are just going on to lap 8 now. One thing's for sure, we're not.
Oh, Prof.
Drive-through penalty for Prof there for speeding under the safety car. So that.
Wait a minute. How's he going to serve it? Unless the safety car gets going. That is.
I don't doubt so much, I'll be honest.
I will say if it does come down to it, he could just retire now even, and he'll be starting 18th if he's not going to get disqualified, that is, for if he can't serve it. Because if he does end up getting disqualified, he will be starting in 20th place come the race.
Would he be disqualified though if he retired? Would it still disqualify him?
No. It'd be just considered as DNF, so he would be starting 18th then.
But can't you come into the pits when the safety car comes in though? Just serve it then anyway.
I'm unsure about that, but fortunately enough it's going to work out for him. But Alino and Kieran are still about 17 seconds away.
Yeah, they're if Banter holds up and waits, because it's a long old start finish straight there, he could, if he really wants to, he could go all the halfway, 3/4 of the way down that start finish straight before putting his foot to the floor.
Yeah, most certainly he could just hold it up as much as he wants, as he's going to be dictating the pace, but it's going to be a bit annoying for cars behind him. But he's going straight out at the final corner, and Prof is into the pits now to serve his drive-through.
And
could we see a move from? Sorry,
retires.
Jizzle me.
And yeah, Jizzle me trying to go around the outside. Oh, they made contact there, and maybe not. It wasn't in the right camera angle really. He might have just got a bit of oversteer through the corner. It looked like it was contact though.
Yeah, I was going to say it was no contact there. It was just the tail end of that Ferrari stepping out a little.
And I would arguably say, Lee, that Alino did catch up in the end. Kieran, maybe not so much. We got a yellow flag in sector 1, which is props for tyre car coming out of the pits.
Which I never understand why it does that. But yeah.
So we're about to go on to the last lap, Lee, and I feel like drivers have not thought now someone like Paul Jones is starting to use the battery, of course.
We're in there, getting a better exit of turn 10 there, and now he's side by side with Matthew, and Matthew still keeps it on the inside there. So, Danny, unfortunately, them tyres not providing the grip that he's been wanting. Oh, and he just taps the back of Matthew there as they're going around turn 16 there.
Yeah.
He managed to get just a better line there. And could he be having a look down the inside?
Could Royal Rumble be having a little look here, Lee, at the inside of Danny? But no, Danny trying to actually go around the outside in attack mode right now as he now makes contact. He is on the soft tyres as well, so trying to use that extra grip advantage.
Sorry, Matthew's going up the inside of Matty Jones there. They're actually still side by side coming out of turn 5. Matty's going to have the inside line for turn 6 here, and they're still side by side. But Matthew manages to get a better traction on the outside and moves up into 11th place. Great battling from the pair of them there.
And as we go further back as well, Kieran, Bowden and Alino all fighting for places. But before we watch the rest of that, we've got to go back to the front. And I think Banter Brandon may just have this under control. If he gets a good exit out of the final corner here, he can call himself a sprint winner in RTG. We've got one corner to go in this sprint race. He's kept it absolutely under control. He took the sprint pole, and now he's going to take the sprint race win in Qatar and start on pole.
Danny could be looking for a move here on Matty Jones coming to the line. There's going to be a drag race, and there's contact, and there is what was that just up the inside there? Who was that? That was Royal Rumble.
That was amazing.
With him having the 3-second time penalty, that put him back down there. Great, that was a drag race to the end there. Absolutely spectacular there from the three of them.
That was some finish.
It was. So we'll have a quick rundown of the finishing order of the sprint. And this is going to be the order for the grid come the race.
Remember to go to the right.
Thank you. So, in first place was Banter Brandon, in second Paul Jones, Jizzle Meat, third Prodigy was fourth, Coyx Gamer in fifth, Pipple Kennedy in sixth, seventh, so Chuck. Then it was Looney Man and Bugatti Sloven in ninth, Matthew in 10th, Danny in 11th, Taylor Danny in 12th, 13th was Royal Rumble, Matty Jones in 14th, Kieran 15th, Alino in 16th, 17th was Per Bowden, Prof retired, Lee retired, and GT Lord also. So, moving on to the main event where we're going to have 29 laps of racing. So some people will have a slightly less soft tyres come this race.
To answer someone's question in the comments, it's a PlayStation only league. So to actually answer your question, it's console. Because the question was, is it PC or console?
Fair.
So as we wait a moment, tyre strategies. Tyres. So Banter Brandon going the complete opposite right now, going to the hard tyres, where he started on the softs in the sprint. And I think the safety car would have helped him somewhat as well for a lap or so, just to keep his soft tyres in check for the end. But the softs really worked in the sprint. Really quite a mixture at the moment, Lee. We've got almost the colours of the rainbow going on right now.
Yeah, but there is plenty of a mix-up here. 1, 2, 3, 6 people on the hearts.
Oh,
Oh,
we're
there
about
we
to
go, we're
get...
getting started.
Yep, so we've now got 5 red lights for the race. And we're away in the Thursday tier for the race itself. There's a drive-through penalty for a jump start for Alino, and Banter Brandon gets away quite well. Paul Jones on the inside there is now Prodigy trying to go up the inside, was quite quiet in the sprint itself, and now in the race start trying to make some action and some noise as he tries to go around the outside of turn 3.
Lee's
Oh,
off into the gravel there. I think that was contact.
Making contact there, and Prodigy just getting past, and now Coix Gamer trying to get past, puts Jizz on me off the road, and now Coix goes around the outside at turn 6. We've got a yellow flag in the first sector. That potentially could be a safety car. I don't think it is. There's a huge amount of cars now going into turn 7, all fighting for positions. It wasn't 3 into 1. Luckily, it was 2 that went into 1, and sometimes that can work out all right as we now go around turn 10 on board with Danny trying to go up the inside of the Williams. He's now going to have the outside line for the right-hander of turn 12 and has to back out of it.
Yeah, but it was quite a spectacular racing between the two of them there. Just trying to fight tooth and nail there for that 12th position. And it could look like Taylor Danny's going for a move on the inside the Royal Rumble at turn 16 to make a little bit of contact as Taylor Danny misses his braking a little. And he's going to be wanting to get as close to him as possible going into turn 1.
And here goes...
just looking behind.
Matty Jones as well, who moves up, and there's places towards the front that are drivers towards the front who are switching places. Coix Gamer and Chuck going side by side through turn 2, made contact there, almost wheel to wheel, literally, but there was a bit of bodywork damage. There's a car retired in the pit lane. Alino serving his drive penalty, which I think he's got twice in a row now, Lee.
Yep, he's just jumped the start twice now, unfortunately. It's never good when that happens, of course, but hopefully for him anyway, the safety car does come out. He'll be praying for that in order to get back up there. Is Danny and Kieran swapping places there? Or was that... No, Danny managing to fend off that position, I think.
Are there going to be team orders from Daddy Stroll here? Aston Martin, is Matthew going to be let through by Chuck? I don't feel like that's going to be the case. They're both on the medium tyres right now. It's certainly all to play for.
Chuck's on the soft tyres.
Oh, sorry, it's Chuck. Yeah, Chuck's on the soft.
Yep, so he's going to be on a different strategy. He's going to be coming in a lot sooner than Matthew.
And here goes Paul Jones without the DRS available, but on the softer compounded tyres, the medium tyres versus the hard, gets past, but then there's switcheroo from the debutant. She gets alongside him again as we go through turn 2, and then up towards turn 3, side by side again, almost sticking together like magnets, and now Paul Jones takes the lead as we go into turn 4.
Yep, he got that much over to the left-hand side. He actually destroyed the board on the left-hand side going into turn 4.
Oh, just had a bit of an audio issue there. Sorry for that.
Ah.
We were talking about the audio problem last time, so hopefully I haven't jinxed it. Again, Matthew still behind the Aston Martin of Chuck. The soft tyres on Chuck's car, though, but not looking like he's got the speed advantage you would think on the soft tyre right now, Lee.
No, it's well, he is getting kind of held up in the dirty air of the cars ahead of him, and it doesn't help. It's Taylor Danny managing to get up the inside of Royal Rumble there. But I think Royal Rumble could have the DRS. No, he's not. Oh, no, wait, he has got it as well.
Yeah, and the two leaders again switching places. It's all happening into turn 1 on lap 3. And now Banter has gone ahead.
Looneyman and Pippo Kennedy, they're swapping places for that 8th position. So Looneyman making a bit more of them grippier yellow-walled Pirellis. 2-6.
And jizz on me there, looking at the timing graph and getting very close, within almost a tenth of a second there behind Prodigy as they go through turn 7. Now the left-hander at turn 8. Watch your track limits when you go into the entry of turn 9, and now braking for turn 10 on the power once more down this short straight with a slight left-hander, which is turn 11, and into this mighty triple right-hander of turns 12, 13 and now 14, where Chisholm was getting very, very close to the back of Prodigy as they now go around the penultimate corner. Chisholm looking to the left early, then moving back to the right slightly as we go out of this corner here. The DRS is open for Chisholm, as well as Proddy, as well as Paul Jones, but the only one that hasn't is Brandon, who is just been overtaken there. Is Chisholm going to go for a move as well on Prodigy at turn 1? Going side by side here. The hard tyres look like they're working quite well, but then Prodigy on the inside again, goes off the track though, so would have got a warning for that. That's for sure. And now as they go in to turn 4, they make contact again. Oh, and that time it was one time too many. And Chisholm getting very, very aggressive with a few drivers this evening, and maybe getting some other drivers a bit hot under the collar. As Matthew now right on the gearbox of Prodigy, of course, dropped a huge amount of places, was fighting for the lead in the sprint race, now moves up to 5th place. And he's gaining back positions he lost in the sprint due to dropping out of the session.
Yep, he will be determined to get back as many of them places as possible. Having a look, Per Bowden getting 3-second time penalty. And Royal Rumble into the pits. So you got damage? I'll have a wee look there.
As Banter Brandon gets back past again on Paul Jones and moves back up into the lead. They switch places for the lead the last few laps actually at turn 1. Alino now making up a place on Royal Rumble, who had to pit.
Sorry about that. Let's see. Bugatti Slovens managed to keep right close to Pippo Kennedy in 9th place.
Yeah, he's looking good. Again, obviously our driver of the season in season 12. He finished 3rd in the championship, sitting 5th in the championship right now. So having another strong performance so far this season, down in 10th at the moment, but looking very quick and troubling Pippo Kennedy, I'm sure. And there's a yellow flag, and that'll be for Alino, who spun out at turn 7 at the exit, and pretty much on the apex of turn 8 actually. He's got himself
2 seconds, Matthew going for a move on Koyak's Gamer, switched to the right hand side there. Nicely done there from Matthew, moving up into 4th position, and you could see them 3 ahead of him. The Ferrari, the Alfa Romeo and the Alpine, who are all still battling it out for the podium. Of course, still got plenty of time left in this race.
Yeah, not even at 3rd distance yet. We've seen quite a few overtakes as we're on board with Matthew looking ahead to Chisholm, who is getting very close to the back of Paul Jones right now. It's giving Banter just that little bit of breathing space, but not enough to not have him worried As that's Jizzle moves out and around at the exit of turn 10 into the wall. There's a virtual safety car deployed, and that just stabilises the race. And it looks like Lee, he reset to track there.
Give me 2 seconds and I'll have a look. Yeah, it does look like that. I'm unsure about that, but we could possibly find out post-race.
Oh, no. Especially for drivers on the softs, Lee, was this pretty much the ideal time for this VSC?
Yeah, it would be. Oh, we know.
And it's just ended. Oh, look at this, Lee. Right at the front, Matthew, Banter and Paul Jones. Paul Jones made up the place straight after the virtual safety car had ended. I wish I'd have got that on stream. Unfortunately, I didn't. But the three of them now getting very feisty with Coit's Gamer just there in the background as well. And, of course, DRS enabled once more as it was just a VSC. And we don't have to wait the 2 laps as they go through turn 6. It's interesting with the strategies as well, as you see Alino retire now in the pit lane.
But we'll say these top 4 are sticking together quite closely.
Yeah, it's certainly all to play for with these guys at the front right now as we go into the penultimate corner and then into the final one. They've changed the track slightly for this year, and I mean more as Coit's Gamer there, as we ride on board with him, goes off the circuit, gets himself a 3-second time penalty now. That would have been his 3rd warning. Unlike in real life, they get 4 warnings. No, they get 3 warnings, and then a black and white flag after that, and then they get a 5-second penalty, so they get a harsher penalty. Not sure which version I prefer.
I mean, well, the good thing is about that one then is you won't be able to serve it in the pit lane, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think maybe you can.
In real life, I mean. See, GTR's just came in to get off them soft tyres, and he's jumping on the hards. And we'll say Matthew is sticking right close to Banter, who's sitting in 2nd place right now. But Banter's starting to pull away and he's closing the gap on Paul Jones in this 3rd sector. And Coit's Gamer managing to keep within that DRS, he's sitting in 4th place right now. Seen Paul Jones trying to break the toe, but then Banter gets up the inside. I think there was a little bit of contact there between the front left of Banter and the rear right of Paul Jones there. But Banter manages to get up into that 1st place.
So as we see them make their way around the hairpin of turn 6, I have no idea who's going to come out on top in this battle. It's impressively Matthew's been able to get back up into 3rd place, back into a position. He's looking at the position he was in before he dropped out of the lobby.
Yep, he's managed to do really well. He's gained 7 places in these 10 laps of this race here, and of course we've still got 19 laps still to go. As you see him just a way to come on to lap 11 as they go down this 1 kilometre stretch of road that leads into turn 1, which we could possibly see a move from Paul Jones as he's looking down the inside, and he's not managing to get as much turned in as he would have hoped, and he doesn't manage to get that place, unfortunately. But he's still looking. We're seeing plenty of battles here. Oh, Matty Jones into the pits.
One second, Lee.
No worries. No, see, Matthew's still managing to keep quite close to the two in front there. We could end up seeing him possibly making a move in the coming laps. Quite possibly, as he's managed to do quite well, gaining 7 places already. Having a wee look further down, Chuck getting a 3-second time penalty. He's trying to pull a gap on Prodigy behind, who's sitting at 6/10 behind the Aston Martin. Oh, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Oh, and that's Per Boden's retired. That's coming out of turn 5 there. That is unfortunate. So we've got a full course safety car. We're going to get a full reset of the grid. And these medium runners, this is going to be great for them. Matthew is absolutely loving this right now, because now he could just throw on a set of hards and go to the end.
What happened?
Per Boden crashed on the exit of turn 5.
Oh wow, okay. So, Jizumi's pits had the drivers, no, I'm guessing not. So the drivers that are all the way up to, what, about 8th place, I'm guessing? Haven't had opportunity to pit. Actually, we can just find that out, can't we?
Yep.
Yeah, there's
top
quite
7.
a few.
Top 7 haven't had a chance to pit yet. The people on 4-lap old tyres will be the people that pit during the VSC, which was just a few laps ago. Now, see, Banter, Paul, Matthew, the top 4 are in. Bugatti Sloven, is he going to jump in? Yep. Pippo and Taylor Danny, he's going to have to slow up quite a bit, as he's got Pippo Kennedy just ahead, who's jumping in as well. He's actually having to take his time as much as he can. But I think that would be the bad idea, because they could end up boxing in Bugatti Sloven or Paul Jones even, if they just went right in. Who's it that was there? That's Haas. No, it's Alpha Tauri, sorry. Yeah, they could have went and boxed him in, and that could have given Pippo Kennedy the position. But yeah, we've seen pretty much everyone. Pat Danny getting a 5-second. Alright, he's retiring. Fair.
Sorry, Lee, I was just doing a test of something there. We'd never done an actual test of, so I just had a look. Just to give everyone context, I got new internet recently. It's like 700 megabits per second. I get over 100 megabits per second upload. It's literally like a 1.5 second lag to the YouTube now.
Yeah, I've noticed that is really quick at uploading now. Right on the buzzer, pretty much.
I think you could have a third commentator now watching the stream, and it would probably be alright.
Yeah, could possibly.
We get our own Ted Kravitz, Lee.
And you just pit aside at the Aston Martin garage. But yeah, it has been quite a spectacular race up to now. loads of people switching places, lots of overtakes. Prodigy, Prof, Looneyman, and GTR have all opted not to pit. Oh, and same with Jizomi as well. So they're all on 5-lap old tyres, or 4 laps for GT anyway, come the restart anyway. Well, oh, Kieran getting a 5-second penalty.
Not sure what's happened here. There's a bit of confusion. Kieran's now diving into the pits. Chisholm me as well. Oh, doing a bit of a Lee special here. And made contact and got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So
Silly.
Not great sportsmanship there from Chisholm me, I think, with Kieran. Still got a long way to go. Intermediate tyres for Kieran.
Oh dear Lord. It's meant to be in Q1 that we do an intermediate championship, not the race.
I shouldn't have. Sorry,
I know, because you've done this.
That was devilishly funny.
You know that the pain of this.
I think I have done this, yeah.
You have, because I remember it quite vividly.
Do you think he's done it for the, and excuse my French, the shits and giggles?
It could be a possibility.
Probably not.
No, you probably did mess up, unfortunately, which it's never the best as well. Could the safety car be in this lap? He's going to have to try and hold off so you could get maybe an extra lap out of the safety car so you could get in and change his tyres.
Yes, but I've done this before. I don't think I've done it at RTG, but I know I've done this before. I don't think I did it for intermediate, so I think it was just a tyre I didn't want. It was quite bad, but looking like Kieran's catching up.
Oh, that is so
Can you imagine
unfortunate.
if it just started raining now?
In the desert, I highly doubt it, but he could quite possibly just start overtaking on the right-hand side and fly into the pits right now and try and take as much time off that. And it looks like he heard me.
That quick upload speedly.
Yeah, but he's got this on in the background. There's no two ways about that. As we're getting back underway again. Oh, and it looks like Matthew could have a run, but he's on the outside and he's going to be blocked by Brandon on just ahead. But it looks like he's managed to get the traction on the outside and he's moved up into second place there. What a move there from Matthew.
Brandon, though, gone on to the medium tyres, however, and we've got a yellow flag in the first sector. That is GT Ord, who's down in 15th right now, and Kieran comes back out on track on the tyres that he would have wanted to be on originally, as we now go through turn 7, and is Brandon going to start showing a bit more pace on the better compounded tyre.
Oh, there is battling here for P12 right now between Prof, Jizomi and Royal Rumble, and it looks like Jizomi's just went off the track, and I suspect he's going to have to give that position back to Prof, as he did go off the track there. Could we see Jizomi getting a penalty for that? We'll have to see in just a few moments.
I think he should definitely, and if not, I think he should have got a 3-second time penalty. As Taylor's only gets a 3-second time penalty. Sorry, Taylor.
Let's see what is happening. We've got Purple Kennedy. No, they're just not too close yet. Matthew getting as close as possible to banter there. So we're coming into turn 1.
Yeah, Bugatti as well, getting very close to the back of Prodigy, showing some very decent pace once again as he's getting right on the gearbox. Looks like one of the marker boards for braking was taken out there. As we go through turn 7 now, it's long, hard on the left front tyre as we then go into the little left-hander, then the big old flat-out right-hander, and then into turn 10. Trust the car through there and make sure not to take it over the white line with all four wheels as we go through turn 12, 13 and 14, which feel like very different corners with a load of fuel on the car. Obviously it's burning away lap by lap. It'll feel a bit better now than it did in the first few laps, but still going to be more of a struggle, especially when they get later on into the stint as well. Jizz on me looking very feisty as he comes through the final corner and on the tail end of Matty Jones.
Here we go. It looks like Bugatti Sloven and Prodigy are going to be side by side going into turn 1. Prodigy's going to have the inside line, Bugatti's got the outside, and it looks like they make a little bit of contact, and Prodigy's went off the track and he's just lost the place to Pipple Kennedy there. Oh, and Jizz on me
has retired and the safety car is out. Jizz on me has not had a very good evening. Struggled this evening.
Yeah, it's been a bit unfortunate. I think with the soft tyres that he had fitted, he was going quite aggressive, trying to make up as many places as possible.
Oh, the drivers on the hards now going to go on to the mediums league because there are a lot of them. And as there's so many, they wouldn't actually lose many places.
True. Could be a possibility. I mean, if they've got a spare set of softs, possibly to the end, maybe?
Possibly. Prof's not had a good evening either, by his standards. Are we going to see Matthew dive in here? Because he could cause a chain reaction. He doesn't. Paul throws the dummy as well. Coit's Gamer stays out. Bugatti stays out. Prodigy, first one to take the gamble, and then I've got to be honest, most drivers are like sheep in these circumstances. One of the same compound, they'll follow suit, knowing that their drivers ahead of them in the pit on the same compound of tyre. Well, the first two anyway. Soft tyres going on there for Prodigy and Looney Man.
Yeah, but with a couple of extra laps of the safety car, they'll be able to just bring them in nice and gentle and be able to get a bit more longevity out of them come the end.
And here comes Kieran Healy. He's going to make up a place or two. And now he's back into the race as well. Banter Brandon, though, Lee, I think is certainly he certainly just showed he's quite a quality sim racer already this evening. I know we've got a bit of a way to go, but kept it under control, kept it nice and clean with the RTG regulars as well, so I'm sure they're actually pretty impressed as well.
Yep, they most certainly will be, but one person that is doing quite incredible right now is Matthew, who's sitting in second place, up from 10th, which is, he's done quite well, and he's on the hard compound with Brandon on this mediums just ahead.
Of no fault of his own either, Lee. Matthew dropped all the way down to 10th.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, it was a bit unfortunate with him disconnecting. Of course, it is always a terrible thing when that happens to yourself. It just yeah, you end up determined just to make up them places again. And, well, now he has, and now he's just got one more position to get, and he could get the win. And it's going to be basically a sprint to the end now.
So I'm pretty sure the safety... Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm pretty sure we'll see the safety car of this lap. I was just filling up my drinking because I drank my whole pint of not alcohol. But it was a pint left. It wasn't a pint, it was my 8th pint. No, I'm joking.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge. Yeah, we'll get going again at the end of this lap. We don't see the safety car warn us that it's coming into a little later on through this lap. We've still got 15 drivers remaining, and I appreciate everyone who's been pretty much consistently watching the race. We've had, 8-10 people, which we're starting to get more and more now. So the viewership, the people who keep coming back, I have noticed quite a few regulars now, so it is much appreciated. And if you haven't already, I'm sure most of you have by now, but subscribe to the channel if you haven't, especially the newcomers who have been here this week. If you're sticking around, please subscribe to the channel. If you're not, subscribe as well. Anyway, we're going to get back underway with this race, and as Lee said, it's going to turn into more like a sprint race now, like we had earlier on this sprint night event.
Yep, it certainly will be. And you see everyone serpentining to try and get them tyres up, but Matthew was just doing a Kimi Räikkönen and just staying straight, waiting for Banter to go. And it looks like Banter's managed to get the jump coming out the final corner. But looking further back, Matty Jones is looking for a move on Taylor Danny going into turn 1, battling for this 7th position. He's got the inside line, but he just doesn't manage to keep it in tight enough. But he's still alongside for turn 2. He's going to have the better line. Could he possibly get him going into turn 4?
Wait there, Lee. Matthew is taking the lead as he went through turn 3. We were riding with him the whole time, just hearing the commentary from the drivers further back who are still fighting here. Prodigy and Matthew Looney Man as well, going around the outside at turn 6 in that McLaren. It's British team versus British team, but the Papayas come out on top for now.
Yeah, Chuck did go wide there, unfortunately, which caused him to lose that place to Looney Man. And we've seen Prodigy getting right close to the back of Taylor Danny, and it looks like he's finally managed to make that place up. Taylor Danny just got a wee bit of a slip of traction coming out of turn 10 there.
And also setting purple sectors right now is Prodigy.
Yep. And
now looking to the looking around the outside, swishes back to the inside here. Now has the inside run towards turn 1. Almost make contact there.
2 seconds. Banter could be looking for a move around the outside of turn 1 on Matthew. He's going to do the switch back. Oh, there was nearly a little bit of contact there. But Matthew manages to fend off that position quite well. And he's managed to keep that first place there.
And the problem that they're going to have in a lap or two, potentially, these leaders, is he's now making up another place. It's Prodigy on the soft tyres, absolutely flying right now. And as long as he has the life in those tyres towards the end, he's in a good place right now, and potentially will be in a better place in the next couple of laps once DRS is enabled, as you can literally see the leaders fighting. Ahead of him is Looney Man, the other driver on the soft tyre, overtaking Taylor Danny. And
well, what is also worth noting is that Prodigy has now got 6 seconds worth of penalties. Just as I was about to say, he's got 3 seconds he moves it up. Chuck getting a 3-second time penalty also.
Oh,
but Prodigy looking to the inside of Koyak's Gamer at turn 16. He's going to have the right-hand side as they're going down into turn 1.
And look at that. Look at Koik's trying to push him to the inside there, but Prodigy actually holding station centre of the track and saying that you can have that side, I'll have the middle and the right-hand side. As he now moves up into 4th place, but as Lee said, got 6-second time penalties. The 3 drivers ahead of him had no time penalties, kept it very, very clean so far, and they've stuck together for pretty much the entirety of this race.
Yep, we've just had another comment in from John there saying, "Come on, Matthew, you could win it, son." Well, fortunately enough, he's sitting in 1st place right now, but the Alpine just behind him is sitting right close to his exhaust there. Of course, Brandon on the grippier tyre right now. But the hards could come into effect a bit later on when the mediums start to drop off.
And hopefully that'll be soon for Matthew. His banter is now very, very close, and he's going to have the aid of the DRS as we come out of the final corner and get on to that start-finish straight. DRS wide open for that Alpine, about 12 miles an hour of extra speed, 20 kilometres an hour. As we go down towards turn 1, Banter Brandon gets himself back in the lead once again for the umpteenth time.
Yeah, but then again, Matthew could manage to get the overtake also on the next lap with the aid of the DRS. As we do know that, just like you said, it does provide a few extra mile an hour going down into turn 1.
And the other thing for Matthew, he needs to really at this point now keep Banter within his sights as he's on the hard tyres. So the longer he can keep him within DRS range, or at least within a couple of seconds, the more likely he can gain that time back later on in this race, with only just over a handful of laps to go. Those medium tyres need to really start dropping off quickly, even though he's not making up time just yet. They're keeping well within each other and maybe already starting to balance out on tyres. As we know in F123, the tyres are actually quite unpredictable, to be honest, as Matthew's making that case known and moves back up into the lead once again.
Yep, and it looks like Pippo Kennedy is moving up into 5th place here on Koyak's Gamer, and it looks like Looneyman was looking to slip one up there on the inside of Koyak's also, and of course Looneyman being on them softer tyres, he'll have the bit of the tyre advantage right now.
And as you said, Matthew gets past with the aid of the DRS this time. It's just the shame for Prodigy right now, who's the only one in this group of 4 cars that have got time penalties, and he's got 2 of them. So he's somewhat looking more behind him, really, than ahead of him, and seeing where he will end up. But it's really nice and satisfying right now, Lee, to see these top 3 without time penalties. Touch wood that they don't for the rest of the race, because it's really all to play for right now, and I wouldn't really be able to pick out a deserving winner right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. Prodigy, though, he's managing to pull that gap by staying right up behind Paul Jones and using them soft tyres to his advantage, but he has drained his battery. Fortunately enough for him, Pippo Kennedy and Koyak's Gamer behind have done it, but it looks like Looneyman's making a move on Bugatti Sloven. He's going to have the inside line for turn 1. Koyak's Gamer on the outside. They're still going to be side by side coming into turn 2, and it looks like Looneyman's just managed to get that position and move up into 6th place. Now, the one thing they're going to have to be cautious of is the soft tyres falling off. in just a couple of laps.
Yeah, that is something they do have to concern themselves with. The one thing to note as well is Banter's got a huge amount of battery right now.
Yeah, he's been saving it quite well, judging by that. So, with that, it could be possible that we could see him managing to get the win. But then again, one never know until that checkered flag falls.
Well, I do find that drivers do start to potentially at this point of a race start to go into a bit of a harvest mode, actually, just to have some battery left for the last few laps, where of course it's the most crucial part at this stage of the race now. So just conserving yourself for a few laps, staying within DRS, and we see it time and time again in RTG. Lap 28, 29 is when the gloves will really start coming off. They're pulling punches right now, Lee. I feel like there's a lot more to come from especially the top three.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, well, Royal Rumble.
This could change everything. Oh no, sorry, he's in the pits. I didn't actually check that first.
Yeah, but most likely wouldn't be a safety car. Well, I wouldn't think so anyway.
We saw one last night, about this time in a race. About this distance.
I forgot. But yeah, it's a bit surprising when it's that late, to be honest, sometimes. But Brandon managing to stick close still to the back of Matthew.
And don't count out Paul Jones here as well, Lee.
Oh no, he's going to be waiting for that opportunity where the both of them are battling it out, because he's managing to stay quite close behind these two. It's only half a second, so he'll be making sure that he could capitalise on a mistake by the pair of them through battling. As you see, he's only half a second behind.
Yep,
so you'll have that DRS.
Well, he's still well in it here. Brandon still having a huge amount of battery right now, over 80% stored in that pack, as he now gets back past again. But Paul Jones still having 50%, and sometimes it isn't how much you have, it's where you use it on a circuit where you can gain the most amount of time.
Yeah, I would agree with that quite certainly. I mean, you don't want to be using it really through the corners as well. We know that could easily end up causing your demise. But yeah, I would suspect that these medium tyres are starting to fall off, and this is when the hard tyres are going to be coming into it a bit more.
And we just want to check here, Lee, if Banter is a reserve driver. I've got a feeling he might be, so I'm just double checking that. No, don't think he is a reserve driver, actually.
Oh.
I really don't think he is. Anyway, well, act like he isn't, because I haven't got any information to say that he is a reserve. He's ticked to say he's a full-time driver. He isn't in the standings, though, but going off of the race check-in, he would be classed. And underneath, it doesn't say his name to be tagged in a certain seat. So, anyway, we'll wait and see. But as I said, we'll keep it in mind that it looks like he's probably going to be a full-time driver in his first race, Lee. And if that's the case, we've got. I'm not sure who to give it to out of the top two right now, Lee, for driver of the day.
I would possibly give it to Matthew. Because of, well, of course, he's managed to get back up there into first place from starting in 10th after the disconnect in the sprint, which, well, we all know is quite the pain when that happens to you. But he's been determined to get back up there into that first position, and I would say he could possibly be well on course for this. Of course, he's got Banter behind, who's got plenty of battery, and he's using it now, and he's going to have the
of course he
DRS
is.
also, and the slipstream, but Matthew is using up his battery as well, and I could possibly see him going defensive. Yes, he is. He's going to the inside, but
Oh, he
Brandon
tries
gets
to
the move
hold
done.
on. He tries to hold on. His Banter tries to go around the outside here. He's got that battery deployment to use, but is the medium tyre the better tyre at this point in the final lap of the race? He's leading the way now. We're going to have one more DRS zone, and there is a bit of a drag to the line, so that could be exciting to see, but Banter's still probably got, he's got almost half of his battery left, and Matthew getting very, very close to the back and almost making contact there. He tries to look to the inside at turn 7. No, he can't get past there. Where is his next opportunity to try and make the place? Paul Jones not looking like he's getting involved just yet. We've got a couple of corners yet to go of this sector, and he said Looneyman's off. We won't see a VSC or a safety car at this point of the race as we go into these triple right-hander, my favourite corners on this circuit for the final time this evening. As we go through towards the penultimate corner, is he going to look for a move here? No, he's got one more corner to try and go up the inside, or he's going to make it a drag race to the line. That's what it looks like it's going to be as we go around the final corner. Who is going to win this race in Qatar? They go to the inside, the pair of them. It's looking more and more likely it's going to be Banter. He's using the battery, and he goes and wins his first ever race in RTG, in his first race for RTG. And Matthew moves up, stays in second place. Paul Jones finished third, and Pippa Kennedy was fourth. Fifth was Prodigy, sixth was Quick's Gamer, seventh was Bugatti.
Kieran just bottled it out at the last corner.
That's disappointing. He's still gonna get points though. He'll get 13th place.
Yeah, of course. So there we go. That is the end of the race here. So
and what an end!
Yep, it was quite spectacular, I would say, and I would have to give it to Matthew today as well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's a close second though, I think, to Brandon. He drove very, very well, to be fair.
Yeah, both of them did quite exceptional, and of course, we've seen the three on the podium there: Brandon, Matthew, and Paul. So, going on to the final order here, we've got Banter Brandon in first place there. Of course, winning the race. Sprint.
Go.
Yep,
across.
He done it. He won the race and the sprint there. Matthew came second there from 10th there. Well done from him. Paul Jones in third. Pippa Kennedy in fourth. Fifth was Prodigy Coyotes Gamer in sixth. Bugatti Sloven in 7th, Taylor Danny 8th, Chuck in 9th, Matty Jones 10th, GT Ord in 11th, Prof in 12th, of course, him not having the best of races. Kieran bolting it out the last corner, still gets classified in 13th, and Looneyman retired, and he crashed,
He also gets classified as well. So does Royal Rumble.
Yep, and we've got Royal Rumble, Jizomi, Danny, Per Bowden, Alino, and Lee, who all did not finish the race either. So, brilliant race, I would say.
It was, it was a very good race again. The top three, so close together. The whole race, I wasn't sure who was going to win it out of those three. It ended up how it started on the end of the start-finish straight on that final lap. Hopefully we'll get some drivers in for interviews. If we are wrong, of course, and Banter was a reserve, obviously he'll be taken out, and that will mean Matthew will win the race. So I know we haven't mentioned that for a little bit, but that still could be the case, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. I'll try and do some more as we go into the podium here. we'll just give it a minute, guys. And see if sorry, bit improper. Matthew or Paul, do you know if is Brandon a full-time driver?
I believe he is,
yeah.
today.
Okay. I'm not sure if he's been invited to the chat yet. Anyway, we'll get on because it's getting late anyway.
Yeah.
If he does join anyway, Matthew, mate, that was very close. That's probably one of the closest finishes RTG's had and you've had. Actually, that was a brilliant race from the three of you. To be fair, fantastic again.
Yeah, thank you. I knew I had pace coming into the race because probably my best track on the game, I think. I won't lie to you. But he was quick, that guy in first. It's his first race, I think, and he took pole and got the win in the sprint and the race, so fair play to him.
Yeah, and we were saying in the race as well, like how impressed we were. It was his first race, and you guys must have been like also equally quite impressed, to be fair, and enjoying racing against him actually, because you're usually quite nervous, aren't you, racing against someone new? But it must have seemed after a few laps, oh, it's all right. Like I feel like you can make some moves and not worry too much that you're going to make contact after the first few laps. Just seemed very respectful.
Well, I didn't really get up there till about lap 12 or something.
Yeah, to be fair.
P10.
Yeah, no, that is true, to be fair. Paul was fighting with him for a little while and then...
I just asked Paul what he's like and he told me he's alright, he's clean. So I took words off him and he was. Fair play to him.
Yeah, no, he was pretty
Up
good,
there
to
with
be
the
fair.
big boys already.
Already. Yeah, no, so... As you said, Qatar was one of your favourite races. It was such a shame as well. Subsequently, you obviously don't know yet, you're our driver of the day this evening as well, obviously, from being disconnected and falling down to it was like 12th or 13th or something like that, wasn't it? And then obviously how after the sprint getting up to second. So was that fun as well, I guess, in a way, being able to, because you can actually overtake around here, I guess.
Considering what happened, I'm over the moon with that result, P2. But I felt like I could have got more. I was a bit robbed because connection, but I couldn't get back in the sprint race until about 3 or 4 laps later, so I was down P12. But yeah, it was very, very fun coming through there. The speed, like the pace that I have, and the grid's quite compact with pace. Everyone's sort of similar. So yeah, it was really hard to get through and really fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Next week we're at Qatar. Another one of your favourites?
The complete opposite.
No, I really like Qatar. I think it's one of the best ones, to be fair.
I do enjoy driving it, but I'm not the fastest round there, so it could be a fun race, but I don't know where I'll finish in there.
It's good racing there, to be fair. It's always good racing at Qatar.
It is, yeah. You can overtake quite a lot, can't you? So you'll have a good comms next week, I reckon, with that.
Yeah, hopefully. I find that all the Tilke tracks are good for league racing, weirdly. If
All the what tracks, sorry?
Tilke tracks are the tracks that a certain bloke designed. There's a load of them, like Qatar, Baku he designed as well, and Bahrain, China. There's a load of them, and most of them are actually really good for league races, but they traditionally used to be quite bad for actual racing. But yeah, Qatar, the section it start at sector 2 I really like as well. And then when you go around the triple right-hander, sector 3, when you go around the triple right-hander,
then throw the car into the left-hander, just hope it sticks on the track.
Yeah, and you see a lot of people try switchbacks there as well. You've got to love a switchback. Anyway, okay, so we'll see you next week, Matthew. Obviously, commiserations, but obviously, as you said, it was a great result for what happened to you anyway, so you couldn't ask for much better. Anyway, thanks very much. Paul, Bud,
Yes.
I believe you'll still be leading the championship into the second half of the season now.
Yeah, I think I've extended slightly. Obviously, a bit unfortunate what happened to Matthew, because obviously you'd rather have the battle than winning that way in essence, obviously over Matthew. But yeah, I mean, obviously you seen it happen to me yesterday. Obviously the disconnection, it's just unfortunate, but
Yeah.
It's that, yeah, it's just one of the things. But yeah, I mean, I was saying to Matthew before the race, I always look back on my streams to see when I last raced here, and according to my streams, it was 3 months ago, which would have been the first season of the new game. And I was pretty slow around here, so I didn't expect much. I looked at the actual calendar and I thought this and possibly Bahrain are probably my two worst. So to come away with second in the sprint and obviously third in the race, sort of damage limitation, I always look at it in that sense, because I knew Matthew was quick around here, so I knew he was going to be up there, and I knew he'd get back up there, even though he dropped obviously out with the sprint race, obviously disconnecting. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Again, the second half favours me, but you never know. It doesn't necessarily always go that way, because obviously I feel like I've improved on the game over the last sort of couple of months. So I feel like I'm getting quicker, or I'm getting to a decent level now, whereas in the first season I was sort of still learning my feet like probably most people were.
You're on mute, King's on.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. No, Paul, me and Lee were saying before, or I was saying actually to Lee, before the stream started, that we probably wouldn't have, like, if we'd have actually asked each other who we think's going to win the season, I don't think your name would have come up. So I've actually really enjoyed seeing you. Actually, I was like you said today, like Paul's still in the lead of the championship, not being biased or anything, but no, it's nice to see. Obviously, Chuckles won so many seasons in Thursday. He's almost felt like a bit like a Max or a Lewis in Thursdays, but it's hurt him today actually not being here actually as well. So he's got more effort he'll need to put in, and obviously you guys being so close already, I don't know how much more you can do.
Yeah,
Can I just
I mean,
butt in and say
sorry.
something? Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Chuckle's having like 3 weeks off, I think, 2 or 3 weeks off in
Is
like
he?
round 7, 8, 9. So he's out of the championship, I think.
Yeah, he does miss a few later on.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So his lucky streaks potentially. Well, I say lucky
be gone.
streak. His streak is going. So. Right, so it's all up for grabs, lads. Who's going to win it then?
I just wanted to come in on Thursdays, because obviously I was racing Wednesdays last season. I race around United, so I'm a Man United fan. So I sort of obviously, because we're back in the Champions League. Back in the Champions League, probably won't last much longer. We're back in the Europa League soon, but I sort of planned my seasons around that. So obviously that's why I jumped out of Wednesday, jumped into Thursday. So I thought I'd try and give Chuckle a run for his money, but. Obviously, we're ahead at the minute, and obviously he didn't race tonight, and obviously he's going to miss a few. So yeah, unfortunately that counts him out.
I'll tell you what, you say who's going to win it. It could be any of us. Like, there's 5 races left. We have respect on track, you know what I mean? And we're pretty closely matched, me and Paul. But I'm just happy to be up there. I've got a nosebleed at the minute.
Oh.
I was happy with the pace, to be honest, around there, because again, this was one of the tracks I was worried about. I was even sat there in work thinking, I'm not looking forward to tonight, so I'll take the results I got today. I've actually got another point coming my way as well. So I'm actually on 100 points. I don't know if you guys know. They didn't put my pole lap on last week, so I've actually got an extra point added on to whatever total I get today as well.
We're going to have to start the whole race again, lads, because I got that wrong then at the start of the stream. So can we...
I'll take that.
Can we...
I won't. Can't do that again.
Okay, anyway, thanks very much, lads. And the other thing that you wouldn't have known, actually, for that race, we had, a good, 8, 10, 12 people on and off watching the stream tonight. So,
nice.
Having some decent numbers, actually, starting to watch you guys race. It's fun for us anyway, so I'm sure it's actually starting to be quite fun for other people as well, getting to know you guys. Anyway, okay, we'll see you next week as well. Paul Kosa, how do you feel about that one before we go?
Yeah, again, not somewhere that I race regularly. I'll have to check my stream. I always go back and check my streams, but I'd probably say out of the 3 worst on the calendar, I'd say Qatar, Bahrain, and possibly Qatar. So they're probably the worst 3, and then the other 3 remaining in the second half of the season are actually decent. Like Australia, Brazil, and Jeddah. I think I should have decent competitive pace around there, but we'll see next week in Qatar, because I don't actually know.
A quick question actually before you guys go. Do you like the 10 race seasons, or do you wish they were? Well, I was going to say smaller, but you can't really have them much smaller. Would you rather them be potentially a bit longer? Obviously, I haven't got any control on this. I'm just interested to know what your opinions are on it.
I think 10's about right because, like I say, what's that 2.5 months? So
Yeah.
and obviously sometimes over Christmas you have a break. So I'd say 10 to 12's probably the right perfect balance, I reckon.
Yeah, I was only asking because go on, sorry, Matthew.
That's alright. I wouldn't mind 12 or 8, but I think 10 is perfect. I wouldn't go any longer than 12 or any shorter than 8, really, because it gives the drivers a lot of chance to make up points, if you know what I mean, on the second half of the season. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering because I was watching a league race I used to be in years ago. Actually, the commentator who I used to speak to still does it, and they do the whole 24 race calendar, which I just think
I couldn't do that. That's boring.
But they do it in order. Obviously, I'm not going to call out the league, but they do literally do it in order. And obviously for the 24th when they had, they can add it, can't they? China, so they can do the full 24. But yeah, no, it was just out of interest what you guys thought about. Personally, I like the sort of 10. I've done a 14 race calendar before, which was all right. But yeah, no, the 10's nice. Anyway, we'll see you next week in Qatar on Thursday. I've been super excited all season about Thursday, so looking forward to that one as well. We'll see you then. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel and share the video to more of your friends who like watching league racing. It's goodbye from me and from Lee.
Peace out.